Paulsboro High School, Comcast Cablevision presents Colonial Conference Football. Today, the Red Raiders of Paulsboro High School hosting the undefeated Eagles of West Deptford High School. Hi, everybody. Bob Shryrock along with Mike Lindner back together again. And, Mike, how about those clips?
I'm telling you what, you can't believe some of the stuff that we're going to see during this show. 25 years of TV here on Channel 5, and as much as things have changed over these years, they've actually remained pretty much the same. We're right back here in Paulsboro. How many times we've been here, and for a Paulsboro-West Deptford game that could be pretty good.
Yeah, this one has a chance to be something special, Mike. Of course, West Deptford having probably its greatest season, has a chance to complete its greatest season if it wins today and beats Overbrook in the Group 2 final next Friday night. This is a great all-around West Deptford team, Mike, and they have a tremendous kicker on this ball club.
Oh, absolutely. No question about it. Jake Brunell. We haven't featured kickers very much on Channel 5, but when you talk about Brunell, who's also a great defensive player, comes in with 43 out of 48 extra points, has kicked 8 out of 10 field goals, including a 41-yarder. But maybe more importantly, the other team gets terrible field position because he's forever putting the ball in the end zone on kickoffs. 33 touchbacks this season.
Never heard of a high school kicker with 33 touchbacks.
No,
They're always been inside the 20, Mike.
Well, they also got to score a lot of touchdowns in order to have that happen, and West Deptford's done that this year.
Okay, and Paulsboro, of course, has a pretty good kicker in its own right. They have a great teacher of kickers here, Dan Antonelli, and, of course, they have a great kicker themselves.
Yeah, Nino Palomino comes in, plays a great game on the defensive line during the defensive series, but then when they call upon him to kick, he also has 14 for 17 on his extra points and has kicked a number of field goals, including a big one, a 48-yarder to win one of the ball games. Palomino, Brownell, two great kickers, and I don't know with this win today whether they'll play that much of a role, but they're good ones.
It's a crosswind, Mike. It's really not favoring either team in either direction.
Okay, well, that may get us a chance to see what these young guys can do. But, hey, there's some coaches here who'll call upon them if they have to, and pretty good coaches at that.
Well, you've been talking about Glenn Howard for as many years as we've been together, Mike. He has emerged probably as one of the finest coaches ever in South Jersey, and he's having a kind of an off-season for Paulsboro, but they're young, they'll be back.
It's interesting. If you read the clips before the season, he was quoted as saying, we've got a real young club coming in here, and that doesn't mean at Paulsboro that we don't expect to win. In fact, some people would say young team, maybe a 6-4 record. And guess what? They lose today. They'll wind up making him prophetic with that announcement. They don't expect to lose, however, with Howard. He always has a great game plan together. His 18th season, probably at the top of the active coaches in wins.
I remember you telling me 10 years ago to watch this Clyde Folsom, Mike. Clyde Folsom, what a job he's done at West Deptford High School. Their program was kind of dormant for many, many years, but they've emerged in the last couple of years as one of the best programs in the area.
Yeah, well, Folsom had a pretty good start at Bishop Eustace and had a couple of winners, but then he got this chance to come down to West Deptford, and he said, we're going to do one thing. We're going to get in the weight room. We're going to build these kids up, get the strength. Hope we find some kids with some speed, and then teach them everything we know, and they've done it, and it's culminated last season with a Group 2 championship, and now this year, 10-0, a chance to go 11-0 today, and then pick up another championship in a week or so.
Mike, I know you've been on the road with CNH. You haven't had a chance to see a lot of Gloucester County ball this year, but West Deptford High School, I think, is one of the best balanced football teams I've seen in a long, long time. No weaknesses.
Well, you get that offense going with Walls at the fullback and Scarrato at quarterback. You can throw and you can run. That's the kind of balance you want offensively. But then you just take Walls and put him at linebacker, and away they go with that defense, and they're just scoring tons of points and not giving up very many. That's the kind of balance you look for.
Of course, the unknown factor in this football game, Mike, is the history of the series with Paulsboro leading 21-1. You are a coach yourself. What is it? Is that a factor in this football game in your mind?
Well, there's no question about it. The psychological part of the game is so important. That's one of the roles the coach has to have them overcome things like that. But I guarantee you, the West Deptford kids have had a few years in which we've covered games in which statistically and record-wise we said, this is the year they're going to do it. In fact, I can remember one, I'm sure you do, in West Deptford with 8,000-9,000 people, and all of a sudden it was just Paulsboro in a rout. And Paulsboro believes, I'm sure, that they can come out today, no matter what the record, and get the victory.
25 years, Mike. It's good to be back with you.
No, absolutely. Looking forward to this game. It's one that we pointed to back in August when we talked about doing it. Yeah. I think we're going to have a great one.
Good to see you having age, Mike.
Yeah, right.
Okay, great one coming up. Paulsboro and West Deptford right after this. A victory over his opponent Wendell Wilkie, as the country did in 1940. According to pollster George Gallup, it is the best barometer county in the country. Mike?
Well, Bob, early returns so far have shown that Reagan is jumping out to a big lead. We'll have some numbers for you later. The first count on the Electoral College also will be given to you. But right now, we're going to continue with our coverage of Election 80 following these messages.
1 for Gary Wright. Doesn't hit it. Rebound by Dixon. 10 seconds. Dixon. Great pass to Mills. Hits the basket with 6 seconds to go. Paulsboro leads by 1. Paulsboro leads. 2 seconds. 1. Desperation shot. Paulsboro wins. Unbelievable win. Unbelievable win. Look at that. Unbelievable, Mike. I remember that play very well. And there's a guy that made the assist, Byron Dixon.
Yeah, Byron Dixon, what a player. All-around sport athlete here at Paulsboro High School. Went on to Holy Cross. Had an opportunity to play with that great Glassboro player, Gordy Lockbaum,
Right.
who everybody knows about the Heisman story and so forth. But Byron probably typifies the Paulsboro athlete, doesn't he?
And the new head basketball coach at Paulsboro High School.
And he'll
He's
do a
been
great job.
Such a great assistant coach in sports at Paulsboro High School. And a fine young man, too. So it's great to see him get that head coaching opportunity. Well, we're ready to go, Mike. West Deptford is going to be kicking off to Paulsboro. They won the toss and deferred. And we're underway. This is a cold, windy day at Paulsboro High School. There's a very heavy wind. 21-0 last year, and of course 21-1 in the series. Paulsboro with the series lead. West Deptford with only 1 win.
Yeah, you think West Deptford may have been waiting since that game a year ago to
I think so.
get back at them? The only loss, the only blemish on their record, a chance here to come to Paulsboro, a team that's really hurting compared to their historical position.
Jake Brownell with a deep kickoff in the end zone. That'll be his 34th touchback of the year, Mike. You ever seen a high school kicker do that?
No, it's remarkable.
Whoa.
Number one, you're happy if you can get it down to the 10 or the 5-yard line, but then to consistently put it in the end zone like that is just phenomenal. That young man is going to have a lot of phone calls from people who want to use that toe at the next level.
And he's only a junior.
Quarterback coming in, Earl Pearson, has had a fairly decent year throwing the ball, 43 for 94, 624 yards. He's thrown for 4 TDs. The biggest problem is also thrown 7 interceptions this year.
So 1st and 10, Paulsboro at their own 20-yard line, just underway in this Colonial Conference game. The quick pitch to White, and White gets maybe a yard, and that's all. That swarming West Deptford defense up to the task. Paulsboro does not have the breakaway threat, Mike, that we've seen over so many years.
Well, they're going to hope to get it from this backfield. Ryan White, Brian Billiget, fullback, Jamel St. John, the wide receiver, along with Steve Assay, and Jeremy Tarpley steps in at the tight end position. Up front at the left tackle position, Beeler, then Benny and Dick are the guards, Castrava the center, and Mike Smith at the other tackle position.
Billig and White, the backs behind Pearson on 2nd down and 9. And this play going nowhere. The option play fails. Good pursuit on the play. The initial tackle made by Ron Wilson of West Deptford. There's a loss on the play. And I'll bring up a 3rd and long for the Red Raiders.
And the defense. We'll have a chance to take a look at West Deptford's defense in a second. And there it is. Liberto at one defensive end, Ron Wilson at the other. Nevitt and Marino are the defensive tackles. Lonnie Robertson playing at the nose guard position. Walls and Denisi, 2 just tremendous high school linebackers. Scarato, Ryan Wolf, Brunel, and Howell making up the defensive backfield.
3rd down and 14. Tough down. There's Pearson to throw. Throws the screen, and it's there for White. White is hammered out of bounds on a big hit. A huge hit by Tom Walls, great two-way player.
Yeah, we'll take a look. I'll tell you what, this is excellent call offensively and then a tremendous play defensively. Getting back quickly, Pearson, he really draws the defense to him, and then look at White, just with some blockers out in front. But there's the outstanding defensive play. Walls comes across, lays the shoulder into him, and there was a very late flag, by the way, it was thrown. I think dead ball foul after the stop, it looked like to me. Who is that guy, that referee wearing that white hat?
That is Craig Daniels, who has done a lot of games that we've televised over the years.
Yes, he has. Outstanding educator.
Dead ball, personal foul. On the offense, half the distance, 4th down.
Yeah, that's just what you don't need, is it? You get your one good play after having a couple of plays that ended in disaster. You come out, you use that screenplay, a great 3rd down call. You get yardage close to the 1st down. Probably would have had to punt the ball in any event, but now you're deep in the hole, and it's a dead ball foul, which means also you lose the down and you got to punt from the end zone.
This is going to be great field position for West Deptford. Palomini, the all-purpose kicker for the Red Raiders, with the task, and he gets off a pretty good punt. Matter of fact, a very good punt. Goes out of bounds, and West Deptford will have good field position for their first possession. West Deptford, Mike, has won games this year, 10 straight games by an average of 44-7.
That's not bad, and one reason for it is this tremendous junior quarterback, Anthony Shryrock, made the move to quarterback this year, his first season playing there, has thrown 79 times and completed 45 for close to 800 yards, 13 TDs, but more importantly, Bob, just 2 interceptions. Shryrock also able to run the ball, all-conference player both last year and this season offensively.
I think he might be one of the best athletes in South Jersey. A couple of yards for Cordell Young. Thrown back. Oh, a slight gain on the play.
The offense, Maxwell is running back along with Cordell Young, a sophomore that we'll get a chance to talk about, and then the outstanding Tom Walls at fullback, wide receiver Tariq Howell, and the tight end Fran Malloy up front. Ronikoff, Liberto, Mullen, Robertson, and Wilson across the front 5. Split backs behind Scorado on 2nd down and 7. Walls with the carry. He's a tough load to bring down. He's driving. He's short of the 1st down. The middle of the Paulsboro defense doing the job. The strength of the Paulsboro team this year, Mike, has been their defense. Well, they're going to have it today, facing this outstanding offense that's able to score quickly. And here's the group that's going to have to do it. At defensive end, we have Jeremy Tarpley and Alex Silvestro. Trudell Hodges and Mike Smith get the call at defensive tackle, and Kyle Kostrava, and he's a good one at the nose guard position. The linebackers, Palomini and Trapea. Quarterbacks White and Wallace, and at the strong safety, Craig Bell. Ansley Carrera at the free safety position. This group is going to be tested all day long. Walls got 4, 3rd down and 3 ball at the 40-yard line. Eagles of West Deptford High School. With the keeper. Rolling. He stopped and short of the 1st down. Good job by the left side of the Paulsboro defense, led by Nino Palomini. Well, the reason that play doesn't make it, of course, is that the defender has outside containment for Paulsboro. Just came up, defeated the blocker, forced the play back inside. Watch how Scorado is going to have to turn back to the inside. There it is. There's the man. Number 1 comes up for Paulsboro, Ryan White, and forces the play back inside, and therefore the linebackers are able to support and make the tackle. You do your job defensively. Everybody do what's assigned to each one of you, and you're going to be all right. Brownell gets a low snap, gets it off, angles it, gets a good West Deptford bounce. That's a great kick, and that'll pin Paulsboro inside its own 10-yard line. We'll take time out from Paulsboro High School. No score. Mike Lindner and Bob Shryrock at Paulsboro High School. Paulsboro, they 1st down and 10 from their own 7-yard line. Colonial Conference football at Paulsboro High School 2 days after Thanksgiving. The pitch to White, swinging right, nothing doing. Short gainer. Well, the decision to defer till 2nd half on West Deptford and kick off and use the defense has really helped them out, because this is the 2nd series for Paulsboro, and now they're pinned down there. And I'll tell you what, although the wind, if you look at the flag, appears to be blowing across the field and not end to end, it has to play havoc with any long passes, one would imagine, because it's just such a strong wind. 20 to 30 miles an hour is what they've talked about. White got 2, 2nd down and 8, ball at the 9-yard line. And a timeout is called by Pearson. And a flag. The infamous dead ball foul. Somebody made a move, penetrated the neutral zone, probably.
5 yards, dead ball, legal substitution, 12 men on the field.
Yeah, that's the reason.
Timeout red.
So they get a penalty, too many men on the field, and then they have to blow a timeout to do it. Is that characteristic maybe of this Paulsboro season?
Well, very young team, Mike. There's an indication of the wind today, and the wind definitely is going to be a factor in this football game, but a game which features two of the best kickers in the area, so they know how to deal with that wind. Both of them, incidentally, are students of that great assistant coach, kicker Dominic Antonini from Paulsboro High School. Yeah. Brought out one of his students as well.
Dom went on, played at Glassboro State, did some kicking there, and then had an opportunity, with the New York Jets?
That's correct.
Mm-hmm. So he knows of what he speaks, or knows of what he teaches them to kick, huh?
We've done a lot of games at this stadium, Mike.
Many, many times. Made the drive here to Paulsboro and have seen some outstanding teams down through the years and some great players. Our first big game here was a playoff game in 1979, Pittman and Paulsboro, and I'm glad we have an opportunity to talk about it for a moment because I got to apologize to a young man on Pittman's team. It's been festering since 1979. Kid playing defensive back by the name of Rusty Cressman. Of course, I got to talk about that for the following reason. Rusty winds up being my son-in-law. All he can do is talk about remembering hitting a guy that we'll talk about later also playing on the Paulsboro team, and he just remembers hitting and doesn't remember what happened afterwards.
Second down and 13 and nothing doing there as West Deptford waiting for that one on the option play. Pearson is nailed. And the field position battle is being won by West Deptford in the first quarter.
Yeah, clearing up on that play and cleaning up was Tom Walls coming from his defensive linebacker position, number 4. And that's a great place to be a linebacker, Bob. Wind blowing, so you're not worrying too much about passing. They're in a deep hole. You can just step back maybe a yard from where you normally line up and then just read the defense and get to the point of attack in a hurry, just as Walls did. He's going to have a lot of fun if Paulsboro remains back in their part of the field most of the day.
Third down and 12. Another tough down for Pearson. Two receivers split to the right side. Ball at the 5-yard line. Pearson to throw. Has to run out, and he will be nailed at about the 4-yard line. And again, Paulsboro will have to punt from its own end zone.
And you saw who made that tackle, did you not? Number 54, Josh Nevitt. This is a sophomore that makes all conference. 52 unassisted tackles this year, Nevitt. Not a bad way to break in, huh? Great kind of team for a sophomore to break in on, Bob. When you have a real winning club, it makes the adjustment that much easier.
Palomini from just inside the end zone. And has it, gets it away. Scorado picking it up at the 35-yard line, looking for some running room. Gets one block, still on his feet, but he's going to be pushed out of bounds. Penalty markers down, and this penalty, I believe, is going to go against West Deptford.
Yeah, they're going to indicate Brownell may have blocked in the back. Number 3 coming back at the end. Daniels will get the explanation and give it to us. Scorado would have been well served to just go to a knee, wouldn't he?
Yeah, he'd have been down at the 35. This is going to back him up.
Mm-hmm. We're assuming that's the call in any event.
On the return, we have a block in the back on the receiving team. It's a 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down, White.
Now this has to help Paulsboro to push West Deptford back. The Eagles now will start from, their side of the 50?
Yeah, 49-yard line. Not a bad job at all by Palomini just getting it out of there. And, of course, the penalty then hurt West Deptford. But still West Deptford with good field position. 5:46 to play, scoreless first period.
Glenn Howard has got a lot of teaching this year. Does a lot of teaching anyway. Always has been known as one of those coaches that constantly instructing. But when you struggle, and struggle may be the word to use, even though they're 6-3, Bob, coming in for Paulsboro, then you know he's done a heck of a lot more teaching with the young guys.
Scorado rolling, looking for somebody to pass to. He'll keep the football and get some positive yardage out at about the 45-yard line. Big gainer, pretty good gainer by Scorado.
Well, the play was strung out real well by the defense of Paulsboro to get it out there. Palomini, it looks like, was playing with the outside containment and just kept with the blocker and moving it to the outside until Craig Bell was able to come up and make the tackle from the secondary. A lot of times, guys will be making plays and their name doesn't get called because they're doing their assignment, which is forcing a player to go somewhere else, and that's where they get stopped.
Ball straight ahead, big yardage into the secondary before he's tackled by Carrera, but he'll have the first down of the football game and into Paulsboro territory at the 37-yard line.
Yeah, 1,301 yards for this season coming in, and he's just a horse going straight ahead. Gets past the first group of line and then linebackers. Secondary has to get to him. Last year, about 1,379, so over 2,600 yards in the 2 years, and still has this game and another one to go.
Already committed to Boston College. 1st and 10, West Deptford. Walls again. Not as much room this time. Middle of the Paulsboro line doing the job. Just a couple of yards for Walls. To about the 34. Good crowd on hand on it. It's not a very nice day. It's very windy, very cold, low 40s.
Well, you had the feeling, didn't you? There might be just a few people here from West Deptford today. The way they bled over the years in this series and just hurt so much without any victory, just the one coming that 1 year. And you just had the sense that they said, this definitely will be our year, and we'll be here. And they're lining the sides on that side of the field.
2nd down and 8. Running room for Maxwell, gets to the corner, finally knocked out of bounds. That's Dave Maxwell, one of the many underclassmen who play key roles on this West Deptford football team. They're going to be real good again next year.
Now, watch how they get out here with the guard pulling. That's the important man, Dom Liberto, number 56. He gets the block right there that allows the Maxwell to turn upfield, and the fumble comes way after he's out of bounds. But without Liberto making that one block, it wasn't going to happen.
1st down carry to the 25-yard line. So that's 2 first downs in this series for the Eagles. Double wing set up with Walls. The run set back behind squatter. Now they use some motion and straight ahead with Walls. Trying to get to the outside, and he'll get there. Still on his feet. Walls down the sideline, and boy, he is so tough to bring down. Another 1st down for West Deptford, and a big carry for the great senior Tom Walls.
Bob, these are the kinds of things that an offensive coordinator will try and teach, but I don't believe it can really be taught, and that's the vision that you have to have, as Walls shows us here. You come into the line, you find out the point of attack is clogged, you make the move, and you have the vision to see where the opening is. Walls feels at that time and gets to the outside and picks up the 1st down yardage and gets them into the 1st and goal situation. You can run that drill, say, here, we're going to clog this, now you're going to slide, clog it, slide, but I still think it's the good players that actually see it and feel it.
Got 20, and Walls with the carry again. Walls gets it inside the 5, down to about the 3 or 4 yard line.
I think Clyde Folsom might have said after the first series offensively, let's get back out there and make it the Tom Walls show and just go straight ahead. Nothing fancy. Try and just see if we can pound it in on Paulsboro and get into the end zone. This crowd is still here. Paulsboro fans, they come early and they stay forever, don't they?
Sure do. They're great fans.
People that have been sitting in the same seats for years, many of them.
1 yard pickup by Walls. It'll be 2nd and goal from the 4 yard line. Young hit at the 4, drives ahead maybe to the 3. Nice job defensively again by Paulsboro.
Cordell Young, one of those young players, another sophomore, is going to have a super career before he's done. And this game meaningful to him, Bob, as you recall, hurt in last year's Paulsboro game. It had been hurt a couple of games before that, came back in the Paulsboro game and got hurt and missed the final against Buna. Even though he just felt he was a part of the team, he would have loved to have played in that game, and has been hurt a number of times this year. Missed 3 or 4 games?
Yes.
But he's just has all the tools.
Got a yard. It'll be 3rd and goal at the 3 yard line. Shryrock is not going to get in, and we might see Jake Brownell in this situation. It'll be 4th and goal from about the, where are they, at the 1 or 2?
Marking it at the 1 yard line.
1 or you? Well, I guess they'll go for it from the 1. I thought they were stopped at about the 3. It would be almost automatic for Brownell, but they're going to go for the touchdown. Clyde Folsom 2 champs last year. Tremendous job by Clyde, and of course trying to run the table and go 12-0 this year. But they got to get by the Red Raiders. They're in Nemes first. Look for Walls in this one. 4th and goal from the 1. Walls straight ahead and in for the touchdown. Tom Walls from the 1-yard line. West Deptford takes the lead at the 2-minute 13-second mark of the first period. A 51-yard scoring drive for West Deptford, capped by Wall's 1-yard run, but Paulsboro's defense made it tough on 1st and goal from the 5.
Well, this was a Tom Wall show all the way downfield. Had the ball probably 5-6 times. We'll get that officially later. And just crosses the plane with the football, pushed back. So there for an instant, the fans on the Paulsboro side did not think he scored, but he did.
Now Brownell out of the hole of Scarrato, trying to make it 7. And he drills it, almost automatic, as Jake Brownell kicks another one. Oh, he's going to run up some PAT numbers before he's done next season.
It's not bad, is it?
Unbelievable.
That's the 44th out of 49.
Yes, this year.
A lot of points.
Well over 100 points in placement in these first 2 seasons. He's just done a remarkable job. So it's 7-0 West Deptford. And Paulsboro has been battling fourth field position the entire first quarter.
And you expect they're not going to have great field position following the kickoff, since everybody knows, and you've chronicled enough so far today, Brownell, in all probability, going to put it right back into the end zone.
There's an amazing number of good kickers in South Jersey this year, Mike, and a lot of them right here in Gloucester County. This has been an unusual year for good kicking.
Gloucester Catholic has a good one. Murphy Trapp, who's had a couple of key field goals. He's the one that had that famous fair catch that people weren't aware of the rule.
Yes.
That, in an overtime, or in a near the end of the game, right before overtime, where he got to try a 55, 60-yard field goal, whatever, and just missed it. So a lot of kickers. It's great to see when you get all the different skills going. That's the mark of a good team. Excellent defense, good offense, and special teams play.
So Brownell kicking off. Put the first one in the end zone. Wallace deep for Paulsboro. Another long, deep kick by Brownell right through the end zone. That is amazing. His touchback record for a high school kicker. Just amazing.
35 now and counting and continuing to go.
Well, Mike, the thing is, the other team never gets good field position against this guy.
You're starting at the 20. You just feel the end zone behind you. You know, players, they don't have to look. They feel it. You used to explain that to me. I don't understand it. You know, how do you feel it? And they do. And I can tell you from the days that we played, and of course, you sold a lot, did you? Did you feel it a lot?
Absolutely. A whole lot. So Paulsboro looking for its first down of the football game. They'll start from their own 20-yard line. Tailback right with the carry, and right a couple of yards, up to about the 22.
Brian White has been one of those players that just gives you everything he has. You know, he doesn't have the great size, only comes in at 5'8", 175, but has hung with the program all these 4 years, gets the shot to try and be the starter and try to carry the ball club, and has to plug at it. He does it. That's what you love about a player like White.
Second down, 8 for Paulsboro from their own 22-yard line. And Billy will get about 3 to about the 26. It'll bring up a third down for Paulsboro. Not too many years, Mike, you see Paulsboro football team come into its final game of the season with only 151 points total in the season. It's just they just have not been able to generate the firepower that they seem to always do.
Well, how many times have you seen them come in and not have a final to play after this West Deptford game? Huh?
That's true.
8 out of the last 10, counting this year, 8 out of the last 11 years of Group 1 champs. And, knocked out this year.
Third down and 5 for the Red Raiders. Pearson the throw, fires it. Completed pass, and They'll get the first down. That'll be the first down of the football game for Paulsboro. Good job by the Red Raiders.
Well, I'll tell you what, Pearson, if he's going to throw that one, doesn't want to look too long the way he did on this play, because with the wind grabbing a hold of it, fortunate that the cornerback didn't decide that I'm going to come up and try to step in front of the receiver and make that catch. You got to have a lot of guts to throw that in these conditions. That sideline pass, or the one to the side, is the toughest pass for a quarterback to complete. It's got to be on a rope, and it's difficult to get a rope out there anyway today.
35 seconds to play in the first quarter. Paulsboro with his first down, ball at the 31-yard line. Straight ahead, some running room. Good job by Brian Billig. And Billig gets Paulsboro at second first down out to midfield, or to the 45-yard line.
A little quick trap in the middle. This play has been run for years by the Red Raiders, and Billig takes advantage of a quick trap, just an exchange between the center and the guard, and bang, right up there. Get there in a hurry before a linebacker can adjust, and hope the linebacker has to wait that instant when he's got to worry about whether or not that is in fact a fake to the fullback and they're going to go wide. And Billig shows you how to run that one.
Ball at the 44-yard line, and that'll be the final play of the first quarter.
Take a look at this one, Bob. See if we remember this one with Kevin Harvey. Holidays here. He'll have but a week to be ready for that Florence ball game, Group 1 South Jersey Championship, Saturday the 3rd. Harvey to the outside. Harvey's going to go. Harvey's going to have another one. Harvey runs it in from 67 yards.
First play of the second quarter, Paulsboro from its own 44-yard line. Mike Lindner and Bob Shryrock. The dead ball foul is called.
Yeah, we said before the game, Bob, that
Good ball. False start on the offense. 5 yards. Repeat first down.
25 years, things change but stay the same. I still can't stand dead ball fouls unless contact's made. But watch what happens here. There's a movement on the West Deptford side. He gets back. He doesn't violate the neutral zone. Then the center moves and decides, well, it's not time to snap it yet, and they get the call.
First down and 15 for the Red Raiders. With the option pick, fires it. He had a man open, but he misses Jeremy Tarpley, and it'll be second down and 15.
Boy, was that a well-designed play. Tarpley just comes straight ahead off the line of scrimmage and finds himself wide open, and a good move by Pearson coming down, has the offensive back behind him to freeze everybody in case it's a run, and then bang, throws the ball, just gets it up in the air too high and too far. Otherwise, that's going to be a real big gain for Paulsboro. He could have run maybe another 5-10 yards before contact from the defensive back.
Second and 15, ball at the 39-yard line. There's a production. Oh, what a great interception. Outstanding interception by number 29, Tarek Howell. That was a great pick by Howell.
Now, two receivers go downfield. Tarpley, you may have heard me say Tarpley was wide open, the tight end, but then quarterback Pearson looks to Jamel St. John instead, gets into him, and then Tarek Howell steps right up in front and makes the interception. You saw Tarpley came across. Descarado was playing so far off of him. That was the guy to hit. Wrong one picked by quarterback Pearson, and winds up with West Deptford football.
Interception's been hurting Paulsboro all season long, as Mike indicated earlier in the program. West Deptford taking over on its own 38-yard line, first down and 10. They lead at 7-0.
Oh, that's the 12th interception that number 1 and number 2 quarterback combined have thrown for Paulsboro.
Descarado fires, penalty markers down. The pass is complete to Brownell.
You know, in the area where it looked like an illegal receiver downfield. And I'll tell you what, that was I think if he's looking at the guy that I was looking at Labarto, the guard. He really wasn't much downfield.
On that pass, we had an ineligible receiver downfield. On the offense, it's 5 yards. Repeat the down.
Explained well by Craig Daniels, as he always does, Mike. They'll bring up a first down and 15 for the Eagles. Good catch by Barnell, but it is nullified by the penalty.
Well, both quarterbacks now, I didn't expect to see the ball in the air too much today. I don't know about you, Bob, but both of them now have had an opportunity to toss it. Scarrato comes in with, you just have great numbers and has the reputation of one of the best throwers in the area. Said, well, maybe we won't see too much of that today. But just got to throw into all conditions.
First and 15 for the Eagles. And Paulsboro really reads the play well. Another penalty marker is down. Hodges turned that play back inside for Paulsboro. Did a good job. Another penalty on the play, though. This one may go against Paulsboro. They're backing up.
Yeah, that's going to hurt because Tredell Hodges read it so well, covered his position, and then Tarpley responded and reacted back to the play, having thought it was going the other direction, and made the stop. And then to have a penalty against you when you have them in negative situation, going to put them back to positive situation.
Personal foul on the defense, 15 yards, still first down.
Oh, that one hurt. That one hurt the Red Raiders big time.
Yeah, that's second personal foul that they've had assessed against them today. You give up 15 yards, and either way, when you have the football, they had the football, remember they had the screen pass and got a good yardage out of it. There was a late dead ball foul, personal foul, that put them back in the hole, and they fought that all the way so far. And then here, playing well defensively and give it back to West Deptford.
Maxwell with the carry. Maxwell gets a couple of yards across midfield.
Well, they have a stable, don't they? Maxwell, Cordell Young, Tom Walls in the backfield.
A lot of great backs. A lot of tremendous offensive depth in these skill positions.
Depth and balance. And balance is so well. You get out there and just sit and key. That's what I like about the West Deptford situation when you have Scarrato, who's so proficient at throwing the football, and then Walls and Young and here Maxwell who are able to run so well.
Pickup of 3, 2nd and 7, ball at the 47. Maybe another penalty. So the penalty flag's flying here in the second quarter.
Dead ball, false start on the offense, 5 yards.
Well, I'll tell you what, Bob, I had my first trip to the Lincoln Financial Field last week to see the Eagles. And you want to talk about, we'll take a look here first. Watch the move here. The tackle moved and jumped, but you want to talk about flags. 33 penalty flags in a professional football game.
That was ugly.
It's difficult to call professional.
2nd and 12, the ball back at the 47-yard line. Loses the ball, and he'll just fall down on it. So West Deptford a bit sluggish on this series with the penalties and misfires. And this will create a 3rd down and long for the Eagles.
Scarrato here sends a fakes wall, pulls the 2 linemen to make it appear to be a run, influence blocking, and just is unable to hold on to the football and does a real smart thing of just jumping on it before he is maybe fumbling it around, gets hit and loses it.
Ball is back to the 41-yard line. They got to get all the way down to the 41 of Paulsboro for a first down. So passing down for Scarrato. Fires it over. It's tipped and intercepted. Tremendous play by Tarpley. He tipped the ball and then had the presence of mind to intercept it as well, giving Paulsboro its best field position in the football game. That's a great play by Tarpley.
Tarpley, they dropped the defensive end into pass defense here. 6'4", and he needs all 6'4" plus the hands. Look, get up in the air and hit the ball and come down with it and then turn upfield and really give them the first real offensive field position of the day where they have a shot to maybe use everything in their playbook. And you're absolutely right. Tarpley did everything you're supposed to do when as a defensive end you are changed up defensively and given the chance to drop into the flat and play pass defense instead of making the rush. In fact, that's your dream, Bob, when that's called defensively, that they absolutely throw it in your direction.
First and 10 at the 43-yard line for the Red Raiders. Pearson has time, but completes the pass to Billig. Billig with some room down the sideline and deep into West Deptford territory. A nice job by Pearson, and Billig was wide open. Made a nice gainer out of it, and Paulsboro with by far its best opportunity.
I like the job Pearson does here. He's obviously not looking for Billig. Looking downfield. Nearly gets the ball taken away from him here, and as he's turned, he comes back to his safety valve out here, Billig, who is just standing there all by himself, who then shows us some pretty decent speed to get down that sideline and put them at the 14-yard line where they have a chance to maybe even things up here today.
29-yard pickup on the pass to Billig, and it's first and 10 at the 14. They run a reverse, but West Deptford waiting for it. And this play will lose a couple of yardage. The reverse with St. John, Jamel St. John.
And a good idea, Bob. You pick up a big thing, a big gainer. You have the defense sitting back on its heels normally. That's where you come up with something special. And this is the special they tried to come up with, this big reverse. But Ron Wilson, an all-conference defensive end, a senior playing for West Deptford, wearing number 66, smelled it out, kept his position, played exactly where he was supposed to be, and forced everything deep. And as a result, they come up with the loss.
Loss of 4. It'll be second down and 14. Ball back at the 18-yard line. Pearson, good throw, good protection. Fires it, looking for Tarpley, misses. And it'll be third down. Coverage on the play by Ryan Wolf. You could see Mr. Palomini on this series.
Well, you know, they'd love to get points out of this no matter what, no matter how. Pearson looking long and hard at the sideline to try and get a call. Play is sent in, this time with Jamal St. John, one of the wide receivers. They tried on that reverse, where they had the loss. So.
Third down and 14. Big third down call coming up for the Red Raiders.
Good place to come back with the screen. It worked on the third down before. Ooh, nice.
A completed pass, nicely done.
Now you got a decision, Bob.
The pass completed to Assay. It'll be fourth down.
And Assay just goes down and makes the quick hook. Doesn't quite get to the first down yardage. That's the problem here, because he is hit right away and taken down. And now you have to decide, what are we going to do? We're long talk being held here by the guys in the striped shirts. And they're going to tell us about the clock situation, maybe a problem.
The clock wasn't running, I don't believe. It was 8:11 before that play, and it's still 8:11, Mike.
We're experiencing difficulties with the clock. We will keep the clock on the field. At this point, we have 7:45 in the half.
So it's fourth down. This is certainly a chip shot for Palomini, the fine Paulsboro kicker, but it appears that...
I don't think they think 3 is going to be that meaningful, huh?
Yeah,
They're going to try and pound it in?
Yeah, it looks like it. The spot at the 7-yard line. Fourth down, they got to get to about just inside the 5. So a huge play for Paulsboro. Fourth down call, and now Pearson wants timeout to talk about it.
I think he looked at the sideline, and I think Glenn Howard was calling the timeout. They had a chance to see what kind of defense they were getting, and they're either going to decide they didn't like what they saw and go with the field goal, or they're going to come out and say, okay, we saw the defense, we know what they're in, and this will give us an opportunity now to call a play that works best against that defense. In the meantime, on the sideline, Palomini is warming it up. going to have a chance to look at West Deptford way back in their last year in the Olympic with a clip if we have a chance to get it before this timeout is over.
Spartans of Deptford Township. Hi, everybody. Mike Lindner with Bob Shryrock, and we're here at Spartan Field for the opening of the high school football season 1980. Bob, an Olympic Conference American Division game.
Is that us?
Could be a
That's
tough one
us.
for West Deptford.
Which one's the good-looking
way
one?
for a new coach to break in?
Steve Michalchuk, first-year head coach of West Deptford, Paulsboro graduate, brings that Paulsboro spirit with him.
Go now.
How about that? How about that?
God, you were a good-looking guy in those days,
you
Mike.
what.
What happened?
I'll tell you what, a lot of steaks and mashed potatoes, that's for sure.
Okay, it's 4th down and about 2 for the first down. Huge play for Paulsboro High School. 7-0 lead, West Deptford. Paulsboro with a chance to get it even. Turton put the pitch on the option and they're going to bury him. West Deptford read the play perfectly and will take over in downs. The big defensive play made by Ron Wilson.
Defensive end play has been very strong. Wilson coming up strong. Dom Liberto coming up strong. When you have the two big guys like that on the end, it's just not going to happen too often. Here comes the attempt, and 66. Wilson comes in with the stop, does a great job.
Ball at the 14-yard line, so West Deptford, after the great defensive stop, takes over in downs on his own 14. Another penalty. Get a little sloppy.
Dead ball. False start on the offense. 5 yards.
Craig Daniels got a little airtime today, Mike.
Yes, he is, and he'd prefer not. You know, the officials all come to a ball game hoping, same as the coaches and the players will hope, that they are anonymous. No one even realizes they're here. But when you see the violation, you got to call them. Another timeout now called by West Deptford out on the field to try and get things organized. Yeah, Bob, an opportunity to ask you the question I've been wondering to ask you since we said we were going to do this game. All the years, the 25 years, who's number one? What player? You got to put one out. I know you're going to say
Kevin Harvey.
Who?
Kevin Harvey.
Kevin Harvey, really?
Best high school player I ever saw.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Right here at
Saw a
Paulsboro.
lot of good ones, but he was the best.
He was your best, huh?
Yeah.
I know another Kevin that was pretty decent too, down here at Paulsboro High School, way back when.
Kevin Ross, Flipper Anderson, a lot of them. We're going to take a break. We'll be right
Ross
back.
is my number one. All the way back to 79.
Kevin had the best single game I've ever seen.
Palmyra?
Palmyra game that we televised.
Championship game in 79.
Greatest individual effort I've ever seen by a high school player.
Over 300 yards total offense, if you recall, and dominated on the defensive side. They just absolutely smashed them that day.
1st and 15 for West Deptford. Wall straight ahead, and Wall's into the open. He'll be caught from behind. Saving tackle made by number 5, Darrell Wallace, but a big gainer for Walls gets West Deptford out of trouble.
Just straight ahead, nothing fancy here. What a block thrown that time by Liberto, number 56 on the X block, or little inside trap, and that just sprung him. He had no one at all from the linebacking position, was able to get the Walls, and he doesn't have the outstanding speed, as we can see that, but he knows where the end zone is and looks for it. He's got 27 TDs on the year, Bob, 25 of them rushing, 2 by receiving. He's been there a lot of times, but he isn't going to do it with the great speed over a 67-yard distance.
31-yard gain. Walls picks up his own fumble, and he'll get some positive yardage out of what could have been a loss on that play.
So the real question with a guy like Walls when he goes up to Boston College is, how are they going to use him? Going to use him in the offensive position like fullback, where at that college level most of them will be blocking, or are they going to use him at the linebacking position? A lot of people say that's going to be where you will find him playing. Here he is. Look at the good ability to pick that ball right up and turn upfield and try to use the power, but a nice job done defensively, taking him down that time by Craig Bell, number 24.
2nd down, Sperado rolling left. Scarrato makes a nice gainer. Good job by Scarrato, close to the first down. About the 48-yard line. 3rd down and 1 for West Deptford. The scoreboard clock not operating. Time being kept down on the field, but it is about midway in the second quarter. West Deptford 7, Paulsboro nothing, but the Red Raider defense doing an adequate job so far of holding this vaunted West Deptford offense down.
Scarrato able to pick up the yards he did because of the blocking of Dom Liberto and Lonnie Robertson, the 2 guards. Boy, they use them a lot in this offense. You can see one or both of them pulling on nearly every play. Very little straight ahead blocking, although we have it on this play when they try and get that first down, and they're going to get it with the spot they picked up from both linesmen.
The interior of the Paulsboro defense throws Walls back, but it appears that he may have the first down. They'll bring the chains in, and the Paulsboro fans don't like the spot.
Now, we've done this for 25 years. I say he has it by 3 3/4 inches. How about you?
About 2 inches.
Okay, we'll wait and see who's right. If either of us is right, comes down to that left foot, right foot from the linesman again. Where do they place it? Look at that, 4 3/4 inches. Now, who's that guy carrying the chains out there? There's a guy, John Cupsey from down here, been on the chain gang 43 years.
43. Boy, when you get on the chain gang at Paulsboro, you stay for a long time.
Yep, I'll tell you what. Some people always said John belonged on the chain gang. Great guy, tremendous Paulsboro fan, dedicated to the program in every sport here.
He's
and
in
all those chains, that's pretty tough.
Top 10 among Paulsboro fans, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Along with Mrs. Voges. Mrs. Voges is in that group. First down and 10 West Deptford, starting from their 49-yard line. They lead at 7-0. Reverse Maxwell, and boy, led beautifully that time by Paulsboro. Great job defensively.
I tell you what, you watch both guards pull and get out in a hurry. Watch how quickly they get out there. 52 and 56, that's the numbers you want to watch. But hey, penetration. Got there before the trap block could be thrown, and then Scott came from the outside and cleared up. If you're gonna get there through the hole where the trap is coming, where the pulling guard is coming, you better turn and get to the inside in a hurry to either defeat the blocker or find the ball carrier and get him to the ground, or you're going to be just hit and screened and pushed out of the way. Doesn't even have to be a good block.
Lost a yard, 2nd down and 11. Maxwell looking to get to the corner. He'll get there, but that Paulsboro defense is doing a pretty good job, Mike.
Yeah, they certainly are. They're responding well. Paulsboro player down over there. I hope it's not a long-term injury, maybe just something.
We'll take time out from Paulsboro High School as West Deptford 7 and Paulsboro nothing. Third down and 9 call coming up for West Deptford. The ball at the 49-yard line. He'll run the football and he'll have first down yardage and a lot more, and he could go. One man to beat. Still on his feet, Scarrato. Oh, what a job by Scarrato. Is he in?
Yes.
He's in for the touchdown. A tremendous individual run by quarterback Anthony Scarrato. 49-yard TD, and it's 13-0 West Deptford on a wonderful individual effort by Scarrato.
Well, a play that looked like a busted play from the get-go. And even halfway downfield, it looked like Scarrato was maybe going to have second thoughts because he had 3 or 4 of the Paulsboro players about to explode on him defensively. Instead, what looked like a mess from the beginning turns out to be a mess for Paulsboro and a big second score for West Deptford.
Looked like a running back on that play, didn't he, Mike?
Absolutely.
Donovan McNabb. Brownell, Mr. Automatic. Let's see if he's automatic here. Boy, he has some foot, and this one is good. He has to play the wind a little bit. Anthony was explaining that before the game, how his kickers have to play the wind, and he played the wind well there. It's 14-0 West Deptford. Scarrato with a brilliant 49-yard touchdown run.
Okay,
Here it
watch
is.
this, Bob. It's a busted play from the beginning. He pulls, he rolls. They like to use this moving pocket where they get the guards out in front of him. He takes a look downfield, nothing happening. He says, I'll try to get at least the first down out of it. Defense begins to close, but here's where he makes a couple of real nice moves. One to the outside, but then looking slide back right here, right past the sliding defensive backs, two of them. Now he comes in and actually turns out with this hit that he gets. Fortunately for him, he's twisted, turns, and comes right down, breaking the plane with the football. Turns into a tremendous touchdown run of 49 yards for Anthony Shryrock.
Highlight film TD, Mike?
Pardon?
Highlight film TD,
Oh, yeah, that
right?
one will stay.
Mike, you've seen a lot of high school football in the region since you've worked for CNA. How does high school football in this area shape up with what you've seen?
There's no question at all. When you get the good teams in each group at their level, they are equal. It doesn't matter where I go, North Jersey, Central Jersey, or out into Pennsylvania. But I've been fortunate this year. I've been seeing some huge schools, Bob. Schools with 800-900 in their graduating class. So you're up around 4,000 students. It makes all the difference in the world. So these schools of the Group 1 level, Group 2 level would have a hard time competing. But match them up, size-wise, every bit as good when you're talking about the outstanding programs.
Brownell, this one on the ground, taken at the 25-yard line. And Paulsboro will get decent field position, but they trail at 14-0 late stages of the first half, about 3 minutes to play before halftime. Shryrock's magnificent run giving West Deptford a 2-touchdown advantage.
Yeah, that one hurts Paulsboro. You know, anytime you fall behind by 2, but particularly close to halftime, if you're unable to get back and get something going offensively, the worst thing in the world could happen here is a turnover. West Deptford gets another quick score, and all of a sudden they're up 3, and right before you have to go to the locker room. What would be great for everybody who isn't rooting either way here, if you're just here watching football like us, Bob, would be if Paulsboro came up with a score here right before halftime and made it just so competitive and gave them some momentum going to the locker room.
1st and 10 from their 35. Good pass. The completion to Essay. And the first down carry is up to the 49-yard line.
I'll give Ed Assay some credit this time. He got one previously, was unable to get the first down yardage, which forced Paulsboro to try it on 4th down instead of going for the field goal. And they were unsuccessful there. This time he gets the first down yardage, stops the clock temporarily while they move the chains, allows them to keep the offense alive.
To 46 with the first down. The pitch to White. Not much doing for White. Shryrock with part of the tackle.
They bought the house that time, Bob. Both linebackers plus Shryrock coming from a safety position. And with Anthony's good speed, he's able to get behind the ball carrier and make the tackle from the backside of the play. So they look like a good call. Normally it would have been against 3 blitzers to have that call where you're going to the corner, but they were just unable to get there before the defensive blitzers were on top of them.
No gain, 2nd and 10 for the Red Raiders. Pearson. And sidelines that ball. This one is incompleted. The intended receiver on the play was Folks. And it'll be 3rd down and 10 for Paulsboro.
Ugly kind of day, isn't it? Clouds, chilly, wind.
Good football day, Mike. Always a good football day. We've seen some bad weather in Paulsboro.
Seen some bad weather. Remember the one day at Woodbury High School where it was so cold, I'm not sure we had feet at the end of the day, and we were inside.
Pearson keeps his balance, fires it, and almost picked off 3 defenders around the intended receiver. It'll be 4th down and 10, and West Deptford's going to get another chance before halftime.
Yep. Paulsboro, you do not want to see a punt blocked here. You don't want to see a bad snap here. And you don't want to see a punt returned here for a score.
Shryrock, the return man for West Deptford. Paul Amini, the kicker, all-purpose kicker, as is Brownell for West Deptford.
Shryrock already has one punt return for a touchdown this year, so he's capable of going the distance as we saw.
They go for the block, and Shryrock. Well, this is a great Kick for Paulsboro. Scrotto pinned and will have to run out of bounds. Probably would have been better served to pick that up on the first bounce, Mike.
Early on, I mean, they were going for the block. We're going to need a break here, and 14-0. We'll be back with more action right after this.
West Deptford ball deep in its own territory. Mike Lindner and Bob Shryrock at Paulsboro High School. 14-0 West Deptford. Late stages first half. Walls with the carry and carrying tacklers with him for a pretty good gainer out near the 20.
First drive of the day, their second drive of the day, remember, where they wound up getting their first score was Walls, and then a run by Maxwell, maybe one by Young, but it was primarily Walls, and where they said, let's just pound it out. The next score, of course, comes with a long run by Scrotto. But other than that, the Paulsboro defense came up real strong today, and the athletic play by Scrotto can happen anytime, I guess, against a team when they have a great offensive player. Other than that, it's been pretty even.
Walls is cut down after coming close to the first down. He got 8 on the previous play.
I think the Raiders have seen some interesting things offensively that they found that they can do with some of those short passes, the hook and the flat and the screen. We've seen 3, 4, 5 passes that were completed. And then maybe come back to the run a little bit, which is uncharacteristic of Paulsboro. Normally run, maybe throwing a pass. I think they may have to change it up in the second half. Defensively, they can do pretty much what they've been doing.
Very short of the first down by just a couple of inches. It'll be third down for West Deptford. About 2 minutes to play in the first half. Final game of the season for Paulsboro, which was ousted from the Group 1 playoffs by Gloucester City. First time Gloucester beat Paulsboro in 57 years. But this is not the final game for West Deptford. They'll try to win here to make it 11-0 and then go 12-0 with a Group 2 final against Overbrook next Friday night at West Deptford High School. Sneak by Scrotto for the first down.
The Overbrook coaches down in front of us charting this game, about 5 of them.
So first down for West Deptford. Let's see if they keep it on the ground or put the ball in the air, trying to fight the clock here in the last couple of minutes.
I'm going to run the ball myself, Bob. Fewer things can go wrong. If I get something out of it, fine. If not, I'll take the lead that we have presently into the locker room.
That's the half. That'll do it for the first half from Paulsboro High School. The score, West Deptford 14 and Paulsboro nothing. We'll be back with second half action right after this.
It ain't over, fellas. It ain't over.
West Deptford 14, Paulsboro nothing as we head into the third quarter, Mike, and we have some first half highlights.
Absolutely. Not that many offensive highlights, but this was the second drive for West Deptford in the day, and they said we're just going to pound it downfield. We're going to wind up with Tom Walls all the way, and he finishes it off with 1-yard touchdown run, ends a 51-yard scoring drive. 2:13 left in the first period with a Jake Burnell kick. Good. They went up 7-0. And then finally, Anthony Scrotto wants to throw the football. Doesn't see anybody open. Says, I'll try to get a first down, and maybe I'll get more. Makes a couple of great athletic moves. One there, and then comes down, turns into the end zone, gets hit up in the air and down for the second West Deptford touchdown. 3:42 remaining in the half. We're now again with the kick, and it's 14-0 Eagles. High school sports report Tuesday and Wednesday. Still a great way to find out what's happening in high school sports in Gloucester County. Catch that those 2 nights at 6:30. Boy, you put a lot of shows like that together over the years, didn't you, Bob?
Absolutely. Mike, that play by Scrotto was really the big play of the half because Paulsboro's defense had done an adequate job other than that one play. And then the big defensive series by West Deptford when Paulsboro had an opportunity to tie it in the second quarter, also very pivotal in this game.
And check this out. Remember, West Deptford deferred, and as a result are going to wind up with the football here in the second half. And important for Paulsboro to come up with a strong defensive effort here.
Shryrock at the 3-yard line. And Shryrock with a decent return up to about the 25, 26-yard line, where West Deptford will take possession. They lead at 14-0, looking for win number 11 on their season.
Craig Bell came up with the tackle finally. Craig has played a real strong defensive game so far, but Terrence Rothmiller went down, number 7 for Paulsboro, and just busted up that wall that was in front of Shryrock and allowed the Paulsboro team to make the stop and hold them to the 26-yard line.
1st and 10 ball at the 26. Walls with the carry. Walls with some room over the left side of his offensive line. The advance up to about the 31, pickup of 5 on the play.
That's the part of the football game I always enjoy, because when you're dealing with 2 real fine high school football coaches, you kind of get a chance to see what kind of adjustments they've made at halftime. And you've got 2 of the best here with Folsom, West Deptford, and of course Glenn Howard over at Paulsboro. Howard's probably been known over the years, hasn't he? He's been one of the absolute best game day coaches. And when you're really tested as a game day guy is in the locker room.
You've been saying that for a lot of years,
yes,
Mike.
Absolutely.
Good job defensively by Paulsboro, short of the first down.
And that's the other one that you pointed out being so important. The reason is mentally, because Paulsboro, I mean, we talked about it at halftime together. Paulsboro played a pretty strong game defensively, and it's only that long play that Shryrock did so much of it on his own that makes it look like West Deptford is playing a much better game than Paulsboro, and that, in fact, is not the case.
3rd down and 2 for the Eagles. They're at their own 34-yard line. Boy, it is windy, nasty, cold. Good thing we're in the press box. Ball straight ahead, and he'll have the first down.
The problem, if there is any at all, with just plodding forward with that 3, 4, 5 yards at a time is what we've also talked about a lot over the years, and that is the difficulty of high school running more than 7, 8, 9 plays without some kind of a mistake, be it a penalty or something of that nature that stops the drive. You know, Bob, I had a game this year, Strathaven, one of the top teams in Pennsylvania. You ready for this? A 22-play drive. Can you imagine that in high school? 22 plays at any level.
I don't know if I ever saw one that long. Walls again, and he's going nowhere. Paulsboro has had a good year defensively. They lost 3 football games, but it has not been the fault of the defense. They played well all season long.
And when that happens, you know, you can look back at games and say, hey, for a play here, a play there, we could have it at, 7-2, we could be 8-1, whatever. Drives you crazy as a coach and as players when you look back on it and say, remember that missed tackle at that crucial moment? Had it gone the other way, what if?
Fires it, and it's almost intercepted. Not a good pass by Shryrock. And Carrera missed the opportunity for what could have been a relatively easy interception.
Yeah, Anthony Carrera, number 22, a senior defensive backs, had a pretty strong year. In fact, leads Paulsboro with interceptions, has 3 on the season. But, man, would he have loved to have gotten number 4 right here. Up in the air, looks like he has it and just unable to hold on.
3rd down and 9 for the Eagles. West Deptford with 441 points in 10 games, only 70 given up.
And you know,
that is dominance.
When you take a look at it quarter-wise, it's pretty evenly matched also. So they've been a team that scored throughout the season, throughout the series. They have 125 first quarter points, 127 second, drops down to 86 in the third, and 105 in the fourth. So they've been a balanced team all year long, haven't had the up and down moments in games.
Sharper with a good defensive play, forcing the West Deptford punt. Ryan White will go deep for Paulsboro, and of course Brownell is the all-purpose kicker for West Deptford. So another good job defensively by Paulsboro. If they don't give up that late one to Shryrock in the second period, it's a 1-touchdown football game. Low snap. Brownell gets it off, and not one of his better kicks. Good coverage by West Deptford. The ball will roll dead at about the 27-yard line.
Well, at least they won't be starting at their 20 or worse, huh? As they were so often in the first half. We saw them pin back there with those kickoffs that went into the end zone.
So first down and 10 for Paulsboro. Their first possession of the second half. The scoreboard clock operating again. 8:25 to play in the third. Still a 14-0 West Deptford lead. Paulsboro needs to make something happen offensively, Mike.
Absolutely, and what they have to make sure doesn't happen is a mistake by them and give West Deptford a good field position again. They got to see what they did successfully in the first half and do more of it here. And, remember what it was. We saw screen pass. We saw pass into the flat. We saw some hook right down the field about 7-8 yards. Those three passes seemed to be open the times they ran it. And I think they're going to have to reverse it, as I said right before the half, and throw a little bit more than they characteristically have in the past.
White got only a yard. It'll be second down and 9 for the Red Raiders. And that's almost picked off by Walls.
Well, Walls read that one perfectly, didn't he? As any linebacker who's as good as he is will just drop back 4, 5, 6 steps and then read the quarterback, takes the look, sees he wants to go for it. He had to get rid of it right there. By the way, Tarpley was open when he cocked his hand first. See, Tarpley was right there that already his screen, number 84 open, and he just hesitated, and when he pulled it back, that gave Walls the chance to get into that seam between the quarterback and the tight end. So you got to deliver it, you got to react and throw. You can't think. Quarterback has to know the man is open, get it to him.
Third down and 9. And he's hit from behind. The pass falls incomplete, and Pearson may be injured on the play. He was hit hard from behind, and he is down.
Yeah, I don't like what he's holding on to either. Looks like he's holding on to that lower part of that leg, that knee. We'll take a look and see what happens at the end of this play. Pearson back. He has 4 receivers out this time, Bob, and they only had 3 men deep. Actually, on the far side of the field, one of the guys were open. He takes a hit there. Look at the leg bend. That right leg that time bent up behind him as they came down. I don't know if you saw it, but that was...
He's in some pain.
Yes, he was.
Young man is hurt. Well, he's...
That's the right leg.
Yeah.
That just bent up right behind him.
Ooh.
Well, Bob, over the years, 25 years, we've seen too many kids get hurt like this, but they bounce back so well with their rehabs. And over those years, we have an opportunity to watch you do an awful lot at Channel 5.
He's always interesting and informative as he interviews top newsmakers from in and around Gloucester County. Who is he? Well, he's not Fred Astaire, and he's not Paul Kagan. He's Bob Shryrock on the station that does it all for you, Storer Cable Channel 5.
Who was that young guy, Mike?
Remember that? Yeah. Hogan, he came in the studio and flipped you a couple times, didn't he?
Yeah, I said, Hulk, put a hold on me, but don't hurt me.
Yeah, that's impossible, right?
That's some good
Storer
time.
Cable.
I tell you, some good time.
I'll tell you, we're so old, we go back before Storer Cable.
Yeah, we do.
We go back to Gloucester County Cable.
Abe Kreloff.
That's correct. And
West Deptford starting from its own 37-yard line, first down and 10. Eagles lead at 14-0. Maxwell with the carry. Putting it back inside and gets some decent yardage. To the 42-yard line. The second down and about 4 for the Eagles.
There was that famous interview you did on one show, wasn't there, Bob, where you fell asleep in the middle of the answer?
Yes, I did.
Remember who
it was
that
really
was?
an exciting question. I know who it was, but I won't mention her name.
You won't talk about Sally.
Walls. Be short of the first down by about a yard.
Now, Tom Walls has to be in the group of great players that we've seen over the years.
Absolutely.
There's so many of them. If we ever sat down and pulled out all the records that we could find from the 25 years that we've been doing these games on the Channel 5.
That would be interesting, wouldn't it?
Be able to sit down and figure it out.
Channel 5 all-time all-star team.
Yeah, hate to slight anybody. There's been so many great kids that have played, young men have turned into fine people in the community, have done such a good job, college and in career. But it'd be a real interesting exercise.
Walls looking for the first down, and he's close. But I tell you, this Red Raider defense is making West Deptford work for these yards, Mike.
Absolutely. They've been strong all day long. And you keep saying, if you could take if you were Paulsboro and you had an eraser and you could just scratch that Shryrock long run out, even more so, West Deptford may be back on their heels a little bit. Maybe you could force an error, a turnover, thing of that nature, and get the ball in good field position and turn it into a score.
First and 10, ball at the 48-yard line. 6 minutes to play in the third quarter.
There it is.
Ahead Walls gets into the secondary. Good gainer that time.
How many years have I said to you, Bob, you've got to give credit to the guys up front as we take a look at this unfortunate situation with Pearson on the bench here, and just hope he's able to bounce back from that. But how many times we said, you got to give credit to the line. Look at these two guys pulling, making that quick trap in there. Unbelievable job done by Robertson and Liberto to give that kind of opening to Walls. Those backs over the years, too many times we've given them all the credit and not sung the praises of the guys up front as often as we should have.
Ball at the Red Raider 43-yard line with a second down and 1. Walls again, picking his way to about the 41.
What's this, 3 times now in this drive? He's picked up the yard necessary to come up with a first down and keep the drive alive.
Great possession runner, and they're trying to run the clock, and that's what he's doing. And this one is close. Another first down for West Deptford. Folsom, good job he's done at West Deptford High School. Going to get some consideration for Coach of the Year honors, that's for sure. Shryrock fires it, and incomplete. The intended receiver was Howell. It'll be 2nd and 10 for West Deptford.
Well, Tariq do a good job of disguising it, make it look like he got it, but it obviously hits the ground first. Shryrock delivers it quickly, and Tariq Howell right here at the end. Look, covers it up, but there's the grass, and the official right there at the bottom of the screen on top of it makes the right call.
Ball at the 41, 2nd and 10 Eagles. Shryrock fires it, completed to Walls. And Walls has dropped it about the 29, but another first down for West Deptford, and Walls getting up slowly.
Yeah, well, Walls, of course, has not been used that much as a receiver. He's holding on that wrist. And that cold weather out there, you get stung a little bit like that. It can feel worse than it is. But here's a young man that had 9 receptions coming into the ball game. You thought maybe they might have thrown him just a few more times than that. Has a couple of touchdown receptions to go with his 25 runs. But right there, looked like he was... maybe he got hit with the ball right on that bone. That could have been, right? Looked like it, didn't it? He had a little stinger right there at the moment of catching it.
Trophy with a good hit on it. Maxwell. Oh, he takes a big hit. Paulsboro defense still plugging away there.
Trudell Hodges comes from the backside, makes the hit. Tarpley forced everything back inside. Over the years, it's been usually a dominant offensive player, too, for Paulsboro, hasn't it? Guys that we could give names, and, it just seemed like this was this player's 3 years. This was this player's 3 years. Anderson and Harvey and Ross. And last year, the young man that graduated had such a great career here.
Redmond, all those guys, you're right, Mike, all those guys started as sophomores.
Yep.
And a couple of them as freshmen.
And that's the dimension that they seem to be missing today, because it sure isn't missing on defense. Missing that one explosive runner that was able to always bring the fans to their feet, a 60, 70, 80-yard run, a lot of touchdowns over their career. They got to find that young man in the program here to get back to that level, and they will.
Well, it's a very young team, a lot of youngsters playing for Paulsboro this year. They're going to be a lot better next year, no question about that. That's a trademark of Howard's career at Paulsboro High School. 3rd down and 8 for the Eagles. Ball's back in the game. Scarrato fires it, and it's completed, and out of bounds goes Young, but a nice gainer by Young. And that'll move the chains again. Excuse me, Maxwell with the catch, not Young.
He delivers it. That's tough. Running to your left and come and deliver the ball in that sideline angle with the speed necessary to be able to get it into Maxwell's hands before the defender can cut down the angle and maybe pick it off. So Scarrato showing us real ability today, as advertised, throwing and running.
This has been an impressive drive by West Deptford. They're at the 17-yard line with a 1st down and 10. 2:50 to play 3rd quarter. Ball straight ahead, takes a big hit at the line of scrimmage. The tackler was Sharper, who's made a bunch of tackles today. 2nd down and 8, just a 2-yard gain by Walls. Second down call coming up. Ball at the 16-yard line. Rolling right. Has some blocking. He'll keep the football, cut it back inside, and he dropped it about the 13.
Castravo out there makes a good response from the middle nose guard position to get down that line and stretch the play out and then wind up making the tackle. This is a key play for Paulsboro here, huh? Because you got to feel that if they do not score or get the 1st down here, we will get a chance to see the young man with the foot. Jake Brownell.
3rd down and 5. The spot at about the 12-yard line. It's tipped. Tarpley almost makes an identical play to the one he made in the first half when he tipped the ball and then intercepted. He almost did the same thing.
Can you imagine this one? I think he would have had a long way to run on this one because this is really upfield more. He gets that one with the exception of Scarrato, who does have fine speed and is a real good athlete. I think he probably would have stopped him, but Tarpley would have been able to run a long way.
Well, we're going to see Brownell kick.
Where they place it.
Spot will be at the 20-yard line. A 30-yard field goal tried by Brownell out of Scarrato's hole with a wind. No good. Well, Brownell misses the field goal try, and the Paulsboro defense holds, and it's still 14-0.
Well, he was 8 for 10 coming in. He's 8 for 11 now. He sure had enough foot, didn't he? But just kicking from the hash mark on the right side and just pulled it to the left. This is the key right here. Pearson, with that ankle on the Pearson, is what they really have wrapped up. I was afraid it was the knee, but it looks like they have the ice wrapped around the ankle. But I think we perhaps have seen the last play for Earl Pearson today, and that have to wait and see who comes in.
Paul Giordano, sophomore quarterback.
Yep. Giordano, 21 for 45 this year, throwing the football, 4 TDs, but he too has had trouble with interceptions, just throwing 4.
From the 20-yard line, Pearson and Paulsboro. And the ball is fumbled, the ball is loose. Looks like Paulsboro got it back. West Deptford had an opportunity there, but couldn't come up with it. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
Terrible. The great defensive stand by Paulsboro finally to deny West Deptford on that long drive. But right there we get a push quickly by Lonnie Robertson, the nose guard, number 58, to push the ball out. And fortunately for Paulsboro, they come back on top of it. That would have been just hurt so bad to have that happen on your first play after the defensive stand.
2nd and 10. Gets a big rush and just throws it out of bounds.
Yeah, they could have been whistled, I think, there for intentional grounding, but didn't have the call made. They brought the linebackers.
He had no chance.
Tom Walls, Ed Denisi, both coming and put the pressure on. Paulsboro did not check back down. The guards left that seam open for Denisi, who gets in there and forced the pressure on Giordano. They know they got the young quarterback there now, huh?
Yeah, they're going to put some pressure on him. It'll be 3rd down and 10 for the Red Raiders with just 21 seconds to play in the 3rd quarter. The option pitch to White, and he'll get only a yard if that.
Yeah, did you see Liberto? Did he put the lumber to him or what? Number 56. These guys, Liberto, Robertson, Wilson, we've been calling their names all day long. 3 of the 5, and then Nevitt had that big play for them. So it's a strong defensive line. They just seem to be able to react and get to the football so quickly.
Polomini punting for Paulsboro. Shryrock deep for West Deptford. This is returnable. Shryrock takes it at the 45-yard line, swinging left, looking for some blocking. Evades a couple of tacklers still on his feet. And a great return by Shryrock, who has that 49-yard touchdown run. And that'll get the ball into Paulsboro territory and end the 3rd quarter. After 3, it's West Deptford 14 and Paulsboro nothing. About this wrestling match, Dobzhansky and Arena. This goes back a couple of years ago.
That's it. We're going to have a tie match. It's 7 seconds. We're going to have a time match. 5 seconds to get one. He's going to get one. He got out. He got out. He's going to win the match. 2 seconds to go. The match is over. He got out and Paulsboro wins the match. 23-22. Unbelievable.
Yeah, who was that guy with you? Huh? That was that Nicky Kelly talking, wasn't it?
Everything was unbelievable, Mike.
Yeah. No, we heard some audio there. Another unbelievable play, apparently.
I never got so excited at a wrestling match.
Yeah, I remember when we started doing wrestling. I didn't have a clue then. Don't have a clue yet. Thank goodness you guys got people like Kelly and John Vogeting and John Mondelli along there that had some understanding of wrestling to handle it, huh?
Oh, the boss is a pretty good wrestling guy, too. That Ritter guy.
Who's that?
Stan Ritter.
Stan Ritter. Yeah, I've heard his name a couple of times.
So West Deptford deep in Paulsboro territory again. A 2nd down, the ball at the 32-yard line. 2nd down and about 6 for a 1st down.
Final wrestling match, I had one at Paulsboro, and I said a guy had a step-over toe hold, and they demanded I never do another one.
Young fumble. With the carry, the ball is loose. Paulsboro, West Deptford keeps possession. Spot at the 30-yard line. It'll be 3rd down for the Eagles. Eagles have averaged 44 points a game, but points not as easy to come by against this Paulsboro defense today.
Yeah, it tells you what kind of job Glenn Howard and his staff have done, huh? Scouting, number 1. Number 2, coming up with a game plan. And look at this guy, huh? How many times he been around Channel 5? Philadelphia Inquirer star Mark Narducci.
He looks a little cold, doesn't he?
He's never home, is he?
I don't think so. 3rd down.
Always doing a game.
Wide open is Young. And Young gets a couple extra yards before he's knocked to the ground, but a 1st down carry after the catch by Young.
Shryrock just has such poise, doesn't he? Gets back here, has the guys out in front, finds his number 1 receiver. The guy wanted to go here. And then Young wants to work off of the block if at all possible. Can't quite do that. And does get upfield, however. Looking for Malloy, number 82, to throw that block.
Ball at the 18-yard line, 1st down and 10. Walls straight ahead and falls ahead for extra yardage after being tripped up by Sharper. Second down for the Eagles, who are trying to wrap this one up with a clinching touchdown here. They already lead it 14-0, 10 minutes to play.
Well, lots of time, you're right, but the absence of real good offense, crisp offense, scoring offense from Paulsboro today pretty much predicts, doesn't it, under 10 minutes to go now, that a third touchdown here would be a pretty deep hole. Pretty difficult to get out of that one.
Ball at the 12, second down and 5. Young with the carry, and Young meets a couple of tacklers in the corner. He'll get it down to about the 10-yard line. Gain of only 2 yards in the play, and it'll be third down and about 3.
Ed Booker must be working today. Huh? It's not an airplane, but it's a bird. We always get something flying when Fred's on camera or directed.
It's always at Paulsboro, too.
Yes, isn't it?
Yes. Third down and 3 for the Eagles. They're at the 10. Walls will not get the first down. He'll get about a yard, maybe 2.
Yeah, let's give him a chance to kick another one, huh? Let's get Brunel out there.
I think they're close enough. They'll go for the first down. 4th and a yard.
Yeah, but points, see, Bob, here makes it 3 scores. But
well, I think they figure with Walls, Walls can get him a yard. That's what they need.
Well, these are the decisions that give coaches gray hair. Remember in the first half, early in the first quarter, Glenn Howard's team, Paulsboro Club, was down there and needed 4th and 3, and they decided it was 7-0 then not to take the 3 and try and get the first down. They lost yardage.
Walls with the run, and he'll be close to the first down.
Yeah, I think he's got it.
Yeah. You know, you got a guy that good, that strong, and that big, and you need a yard. Pretty good chance you're going to get it, even against a real good defense like Paulsboro.
Yeah, the coach shows confidence, of course, in the offense by making that call, not hesitating, not calling a timeout. That's what I like when the coaches call timeout, where they have to think about it. I think it transfers immediately the absence of confidence into the club. So often they don't succeed after that timeout.
First and goal, ball at the 5-yard line. And the ball is fumbled. Dead ball foul call, apparently.
Well, it better be, or Paulsboro's football, huh? And a lot of people.
Dead ball. They have a snap infraction on the offense, 5 yards.
There you go. Now you explain that one to me. Snap infraction is the first time I've ever heard that called. How about you? The snap infraction. We'll talk to referee Daniels after the game about that one.
Second and goal, ball from the 10. Down to about the 1. Good job by Shryrock. The play wasn't there, the pass wasn't there, and he ran it almost into the end zone. It'll be third and goal at the 1-yard line.
Can you imagine having this kind of weapon, a young man that can throw the ball? You got to honor that by dropping deep, but he's such a good athlete that he reads that there's an opening there, a seam that he can get into, and he just pulls forward and nearly comes up with his second score of the day.
It's actually second down, and again, you think Walls will get the ball here.
Oh.
He hits a wall, does he? No. And he'll be stopped at about the goal, almost right about the goal line, about the 1-yard line.
What a nice job done defensively that time. Ryan White, number 1, leads the way, but there's 3 or 4 of the Red Raiders who just put their shoulders into Walls, and not often you will see him not only stop, but look like he was turned around there for an instant. That was a super defensive play by that left side of the Paulsboro defense.
Boy, they're still battling. Good job by the Paulsboro defense. Third down. Shryrock on a keeper, and he's into the end zone. Isn't he not?
Yes.
Touchdown. Shryrock with the touchdown, his second score of the game. And it's 20-0 West Deptford, and that should be the clincher. 6:09 to play in the football game. Shryrock with 2 touchdowns, Walls with 1. And Brownell will try to make it 3 for 3 on extra points, again out of the hold of Shryrock. Shryrock does everything for this football team. Plays both ways, returns, kicks. High snap, and the extra point is going to be broken up. That was a high snap, too high for Shryrock to handle.
Yeah, that would have been rather difficult to do anything with. Just up in the air, and watch here, he just gets in on the sneak. Why not? Gave Walls a couple of opportunities and said, hey, it's his turn. He gets his second touchdown, and the West Deptford faithful who made this trip have been rewarded now with a 20-0 lead, and probably, as you point out, enough to come away with their 11th victory of the season, give them that shot at the undefeated season and a Group 2 championship a week from today.
It appears that West Deptford will beat Paulsboro, Mike, for only the second time in their rivalry. That'll in the 21-1 coming into the game. And, Paulsboro has absolutely dominated this series, but West Deptford a better football team this year, no question about that. Paulsboro very young. They'll be back. Watch them next year.
The other West Deptford victory, what, 1999?
Yeah.
27-0. Were you at that game?
Missed that one.
Missed it.
Both these teams are young, Mike. We're talking about how young Paulsboro is, but West Deptford's very young, too. I mean, Shryrock's a junior, Brownell's a junior. A lot of the great defensive players are underclassmen. Young is a sophomore.
Yeah, they've got 4 starting linemen. Mullen, the center, Robertson, and Donikoff are juniors. So they've got a solid group coming back there. Maxwell, Young, with, as you point out, that sophomore. Yeah, they're not going to be hurting, are they?
No. Brownell kicking off. Fielded by Wallace. Nice return by Wallace. Almost stays on his feet. Very good return across the 40-yard line.
As a young man, you're going to have a chance to see in our next clip, Bob, and see what happens. 1986, a freshman, you may remember, comes to the plate. Let's see what he does for
I remember this.
Yep.
He goes deep on this one, doesn't he?
He sure does. I bet it's unbelievable.
Whoa. The left field in deep, way back, out of here. Deptford wins the sectional championship with a home run by a freshman. Unbelievable. Look at this celebration at home.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable is right.
Mike Taylor? Is that who it was?
Mike Taylor, yes.
Freshman.
That was unbelievable, that.
Yes, it was. Went on, had a fine career, 4 years playing there. Excellent catcher.
You think Stan's trying to show that my vocabulary hasn't changed much in the 25 years?
Yeah.
Encroachment on the defense, 5 yards.
All I can say, Bob, is 25 years and you've been unbelievable.
After the good return by Wallace and the penalty, Paulsboro in good position at the 46-yard line. They'd like to get a score here. The sophomore quarterback Giordano is still in there after the injury to the starting quarterback Pearson. 5:40 to play. Giordano looking for the screen pass, and it's there. Sharply knocked out of bounds.
I think West Deptford remembered that one from the opening Paulsboro series where they got some good yardage out of that play and ran the screen. It was a little different design that time, different receiver, but screen's a screen and just read well by the secondary close so quickly.
4-yard pickup, 2nd down and 6 for the Red Raiders.
Tough game, you know. It's in a sense West Deptford fortunate that this game is against Paulsboro because you know when you're in the playoffs and you have the sandwich game, and that's what they always look at this.
Wow, Dorado.
Safety blitz. But when you have this sandwich game between the 2 playoff games, the semi and the final, it can be very, very difficult. And they've done a super job here as Shryrock comes in on the safety blitz and makes this stop.
He's some kind of athlete.
Yeah, but Folsom and his staff did a good job getting their team up and making sure their heads were in this game. And now they have a chance. After this, they'll focus and get ready for that final, looking to bring the 2nd championship, group championship, South Jersey championship in football to West Deptford.
3rd and 14 for the Red Raiders. That's an easy interception. And that's Shryrock. Shryrock doing a little bit of everything. Think he's going to get a couple votes for the player of the game?
Well, I know two guys are probably going to give it to him. We won't say who they are, but I've heard him talking in the press box. So he'll get a couple of votes for MVP.
Makes a sack, and on the next play makes an interception. Yeah. That's not bad.
And the key play of the game still, I think, remains that athletic run that he made. As we'll watch here, Giordano just puts the ball up for grabs, and playing center field, Shryrock has such an easy time to pick it, but then has the good return here. But still, the key play in the game to me, Bob, has been that athletic play where he goes 49 yards for the touchdown in the second quarter.
1st and 10 from the Paulsboro 42-yard line. 4 minutes, 7 seconds to play. 20-0 West Deptford leads. It looks like they're going into their championship game in Group 2. Undefeated at 11-0. Young working to the outside. Pretty good run by Young to about the 33-yard line. Mike, you know what? I don't recall all the games we've done, Paulsboro football, over many years. I don't ever recall doing a game when they were shut out.
Well, I know we haven't done one when they were shut out, and I'm wondering when that could have occurred, but we surely have not seen them. It's difficult for me to. 19, what would that have been? I'm trying to think way back when. Glenn Howard's first year, our director, Stan Ritter, tells us, and I can't imagine why he knows this so well, but Glassboro apparently beat them in a final and shut them out, and we had that on Channel 5. I like to think it's so many of the games that we've done that we have so many memories. That's why we can't remember some of the stuff, right?
We're getting old. It's a little hard to remember.
That's not why, is it?
That is. That was one for the memory bank. Mm-hmm. 1st down for West Deptford. They're going to try to.
That would have been 17 years ago.
A young guy there. Paulsboro defense still battling. Denisi with the carry. He's had a couple of carries. His first of the game. Ball at the 31-yard line. 2nd down for the Eagles. And 10.
Yeah, Clyde Folsom got to be the toast of West Deptford, huh? So important the sports are to that community. They focus on it. They've done so much for their athletes and junior programs, and made sure facilities are available, and you come in and you give them the kind of team that this club has been this year. It just makes you very, very important in the community, and Folsom deserves the accolades that he gets.
Maxwell with a carry. Nice pickup by Maxwell to about the 22-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and about 4 for West Deptford. Running out the clock, 1:55 to play. West Deptford has given up an average of only 1 touchdown a game. 70 total points on the season in 10 games, and it looks like they're going to add a shutout to that record today. Ball's out of the game. Straight ahead with Denisi, and he'll get it inside the 20 to about the 19, but it'll be 4th down and about 3 for West Deptford.
Well, except for the score and the fact that you would be maybe rubbing things a little bit, it'd be neat to see Brownell get a chance to kick it, wouldn't it? He probably has the distance, but I don't think that's what you do here.
I think that would be an unpopular decision.
Yeah. And happy to see that, in fact.
4th down and about 3. And a new ball carrier. Gets to the corner, but will not have the 1st down. That's Bunton for West Deptford.
A.J. Bunton, one of those fine sophomores that's going to have a nice future the next couple of seasons for Clyde Folsom and the Eagles. And that, of course, clock stops as Paulsboro gets the football, but maybe 1 or 2 plays, if that, left in the ball game. Well, it has been super coming back and replaying a lot of memories today. They did a great job at Channel 5 putting together some clips and
sure did.
Making us
much appreciated too.
Making us look really old, huh?
Is that because we are, Mike?
Yeah, I'll tell you, we've been the benefactors of some great memories, watching some tremendous athletes over this period of time. Nobody could have had it better if you like sports than we have had here.
That's right, and I've enjoyed working with you, Mike, all these years, and great to be back with you today. It's been a lot of fun.
Right back at you.
Giordano scrambles for a couple of yards. 23 seconds to play in the football game, and
I wonder who it's going to be. Who's that guy in the middle? Remember him?
Jack LaLanne. I did a show with him one time.
Yeah, well, that's you, and he's also over here.
That's right.
1 degree of separation from your buddies there on the right.
What's that growing on my lip?
Yeah, that's it.
That'll do it. Time runs out. West Deptford remains undefeated at 11-0 with a 20-0 victory over its arch rival Paulsboro High School. We'll come back and wrap this one up with some interviews right after this. Final score, West Deptford 20, Paulsboro nothing. West Deptford rolls along at 11-0, and Mike Lindner is with winning coach Clyde Folsom.
And I'm sure very happy winning coach Clyde Folsom. Clyde, it's been a long time coming in terms of getting that second victory over Paulsboro. You've had quite a season, but I'll bet you this game ranks right up there with the rest of them.
Now, we talked all week about last year's seniors, what they would rather had, a state championship or beating Paulsboro. And we really got the impression from them that they would rather have beaten Paulsboro. And anytime you come down here and play them, regardless of how young they may be, and they're going to be tough. They're so well coached, and they play hard for 48 minutes. And it's a great feeling, coming down here and beating them.
Well, we talked about a sandwich game between, a game coming up between 2 playoff games, and maybe it's important that this was Paulsboro because you guys had their head into it. But I think it really says something not only about you, Clyde, but the assistant coaches and what a job they've done for you.
My guys have been solid. Our assistant coaches have been solid all year. I mean, they put the hours in. They work real hard. They're enthusiastic. And when the season goes on, we started August 13th, and by this time of the year, there's not a whole lot of gas left. And but these guys continue to work hard. I'm very proud of the effort they give day in and day out. And we haven't even thought about our championship game. This is the most important game for the last week.
Now, the balance is what really impressed us. We get a chance to see a lot of football over the course of a year, but we come down here and we see a Shryrock who can run and can throw. We see Walls with great power, but most importantly, I think offensively and defensively, we see very, very strong line play from your club.
Both lines, like I said, both sides of the ball have been solid all year. And in the last 2 weeks particularly, the defensive line has been outstanding, and to shut Paulsboro out at home, I think, is quite a feat for our guys. And again, last week we shut out a very fast Pleasantville team. So we're coming together defensively. From an offensive standpoint, Paulsboro did a great job defending Tom Walls, and Anthony, he's our next option, and he made some big plays in critical situations today.
Oh, I see most of your players are on the bus waiting for you. How long do they get to celebrate this one before you start to focus on the big one next week?
Probably just a bus ride home.
That'll do. Good luck to you in that game, and congratulations on a great season so far.
Thank you very much.
Okay, we'll get back to Bob Shryrock now, who has our star of the game. Bob?
Okay, Anthony Shryrock. What a game by Anthony. 2 touchdowns, interception, a sack, and the Mayor's Trophy for West Deptford Player of the Game. Congratulations. Great one, Anthony.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Okay, you expected a tough game from Paulsboro. They've had kind of an off season for them, but you knew coming in they weren't going to be easy, and they weren't.
Yeah, Paulsboro's never an easy team to beat. Well, obviously we see that. This is our second time in history we've beaten them, and we knew coming into their home field it was going to be a tough game.
They still hit you, don't they?
Oh yeah, they hit. They got some players. They got a young team, and they're going to be better as the year's going.
Really, the play of the game, Anthony, was near the end of the first half. You're up only 7-0. They're playing you tough, and you turn up that 49-yarder. We're going to show it now. Describe that run. That was a great one, Anthony.
All right. As soon as I got outside, I saw my tight end, Fran, was actually open, but their cornerback, he started sprinting away from me. So as soon as I saw that, I just tucked the ball and I cut upfield. And then I made another cut on one kid, and I just looked back to the inside of the field, and I saw the middle open, so I ran, and then another kid came up on me from the outside, and I just tried to extend the ball over the goal line and get in.
Donovan McNabb running that one, Anthony.
Thank you.
Your defense did a great job today, too.
Yeah, we had a big game defensively, shutting a team like Paulsboro out, so a great accomplishment for us.
Yeah, I think you had such a tremendous offensive year, the whole team, that I think people have a tendency to forget this is a real good West Deptford defensive unit, too.
Yes, all year we've been strong defensively. Last week we had a shutout, and this week we got a shutout, and that should carry on to next week.
You've met all your big goals so far, but one more to go, Anthony.
That's right. We're going for a 12-0 perfect season with another state championship.
Congratulations on a great game.
Thanks, sir.
Okay. Mike, a tremendous game today for West Deptford. They roll along in 11-0, but it wasn't easy for them.
No, not at all. Paulsboro, coming in is going to give you a great game no matter what. They're so well coached. We've watched it over the years. More importantly, they have that thing that we always talk about. We're in Paulsboro. This game may be the first time we haven't. We got to do it now, and that's pride. And Paulsboro showed a lot of it today. Game actually a lot closer than the 20-0 score.
You're going to be back next year, Mike. No question about it.
Well, it's been a thrill for me coming back and doing this game with you today on the 25th anniversary.
Yeah.
We have a chance to see a lot of clips with us on it, and everybody gets a chance to listen to us and unfortunately maybe look at us a little bit, but I think we both want to give a big thanks to the technical crew that we've worked with for 25 years. They've come, they've gone on to bigger and better things, and the guys that we're with today are some of the best.
Absolutely. I appreciate what they've done for us over the years, Mike. It's been great working with them and really great working with you, and it's great to be back with you, Mike.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Okay, final score again, West Deptford 20, Paulsboro nothing. West Deptford 11-0. One more to go for an unbeaten West Deptford season. For Mike Lindner, I'm Bob Shryrock. Thanks for watching on Channel 5.